Welcome to this tutorial on exporting in Final Cut Pro and getting it up to YouTube. So you're going to have a timeline, and once you've gotten it fully approved, make sure all your edit points are 100% correct. You can go up to your Final Cut Pro file menu, File, then Share, and then we're looking for Master File. So that's going to bring up this dialog box, and you can scrub from left to right to kind of see that you have the correct file. Sometimes students will have a single clip selected in the bin over here, and then when they click the export function, they're only exporting just the one clip. So you want to make sure that you just do a quick scrub and understand exactly what you're exporting. Basically, you have to have the timeline highlighted when you hit File and then Share. So just keep that in mind. And then the thing that I want you guys to clue in on is in your settings. We're looking for the video codec. So an Apple ProRes 422 file is a larger file. It includes a lot more color information. We're going to use a compressed file format. YouTube likes H.264 files, so we're just going to flip over to H.264 on the video codec. That's going to dump some of the information. It uses some pretty smart algorithms that look ahead and see if anything moves from one frame to the other, and kind of only keeps the information that that doesn't change from frame to frame, and then if it does change, it kind of updates the new information. I think we've talked about that in class with you guys. So H.264 is what we want to send up to YouTube. You'll notice the resolution. It's a high definition resolution, 1920 by 1080. The audio file format, that's kind of matching with what's going up to video codec, and you can't change that anyway. It's called AAC. We're going to unselect include chapter markers, and we're going to unselect this open with and click to do nothing. What happens is when you click this next button, it's going to make this file wherever a new dialog box comes up. We'll see that in a second, and you kind of get to put it somewhere on the drive. So we've already made a folder on our LaCie drive, and you're going to be exporting to that external drive. But this when done thing, if you have open with QuickTime, then you get another pop-up window that pops up as soon as it's exported with QuickTime Player. It's not really necessary, so I usually just set it to do nothing. Roll as QuickTime Movie, we're going to keep that. So at this point, you would click Next, and then this dialog box comes up, and it's going to go over to your LaCie drive, and then Alex is our editor here, so we're going to find his folder. And there's our folder, and then within that folder, you may want to start making subfolders. Like, it might be a good idea to kind of have a new subfolder and call this exports, and then in your exports, that's where you put all your exports when you're editing. So we're going to redate this. Today is the 12th, and fix shots, and also we're going to tack on your last name, and then save. Okay, so then you can look at this central window here. I'm going to click on it, and it'll open up a background task window. This is telling you how long it's taking to export the file. We're also going to see it if we click to the Finder and jump over to the LaCie drive. You can see that in Alex's folder there is this export, and then it's it's still exporting. So you can see in the background we're only at 40% here. And this file size is going to keep going up because we're adding data as it's exporting. So you want to wait until it's fully exported before you upload it to YouTube. A lot of times I have students who try to upload that file when it's still exporting, and YouTube's not going to recognize the file. It's going to give you some kind of YouTube hanging error. So you want to wait until this gets fully exported. And it is a good idea to check it. So, you know, that do nothing thing where it pops up in QuickTime, maybe you want to leave it popping up in QuickTime so you can kind of look through and make sure it's got everything that you need. Once this hits 100, though, what I would do is just select it and then spacebar. If you hit the spacebar, it does a fast preview in the Mac operating system. So you'll see that it was successfully shared. The exported master file goes to the drive. You'll notice also that the icon here changed to kind of like a thumbnail. It was like a file icon, and now it's a thumbnail. So it's officially exported, and I'm going to click in here and undo. I'm going to click in here and spacebar preview, and then I can see that I have my 5-second shots. I'll drag all the way to the end of the timeline, and yes, this is a 55-second file. We're good to go. 5 seconds exactly each. And then I'm going to jump over to YouTube, And then now that we have it on the C drive, I can jump over here into exports, grab the file, and choose. I'm going to cancel this real quick because this was already open. You want to be logged into your YouTube channel, so make sure you're logged in. And then you want to make sure that you get to your, you go to Creator Studio, or you can click to the upload icon. That's kind of like the fastest way, I guess, is click on the upload icon. And then you can either drag or drop directly from here in, or you can click this and kind of navigate over, and here's our file, and we're going to choose it. A lot of times I get, what do I name it? What's the description? Really, that's up to you guys. It's a good tool for marketing to have good, descriptive, catchy titles. Also in your description, if you've used anybody else's media, like Creative Commons type things where somebody allowed you to use their music, you want to make sure that you give them credits there. You may want to credit yourself as the producer, director, videographer. And then tagging helps for people to find it when they're using the YouTube search functions. So for us, it's not really essential that you kind of get super detailed here. What I would end up doing is just, it starts out as the file name, so I'm just going to get rid of the, the date and the last name and just say fixed shots. And then if you wanted to describe it, this is my TV broadcast 1 project on framing and proportion, or something if you wanted to. You can keep these public, so we're going to list it as public, and then once it's done, you want to click the publish button. Okay, so at this point, it should be now on YouTube once it's done processing. So there's an upload, so that's like a time bar that you'll see, and then there's a process time bar. Because we use the H.264 codec, processing happens a lot faster. So it kind of zipped up there, and we're already up on YouTube. And from here, what we want to do is we can click over to the page and kind of see that it's playing in like a traditional YouTube player window. You can kind of go through and check it out. You want to go to the share button, and then we're going to go to the embed tab. And then this embed code, you're going to copy Command-C, and that's what you can put in any website's back-end coding. So once we create a blog, I don't have a blog made for this tutorial video yet. That's kind of the next step that we're doing in this class. You're going to go to the HTML side of the page. HTML is web coding, and you're going to copy and paste in this embed code. And that way, you'll have a player window within your web page of this YouTube video. So that's going to do it for this tutorial, and we'll talk about embedding in a different tutorial video.